Everybody, my name is Dad, and welcome back to part 2, take 2 of What If Deku Was Abandoned. And yes, I said take 2. I fucked up immediately during the intro. Anyway, last time we left off, a mysterious man of 8 foot, well, technically 11 foot 4, counting on if Bakugo is actually 5 foot 7, because he's double the height of mostly everyone. He's fucking huge. But anyway, that tree monster's probably gonna be taller. But whatever. Anyway, he tore out the eye, or what seems to be the eye of the creature, as the creature falls back and lands basically just on its back. And, it doesn't make any noises of pain. It doesn't have a fucking mouth. So he just told him what is the eyeball and kind of just throws it out. Just kind of throws it aside. As people were looking at this fucking ginormous thing. Like, he's huge. Yeah, and also another thing, it's not like he's built the same. Like, he's not built the same. He's tall and kind of more on the lean kind of thing. He's more lean. Like, how do I say this? It's not like, how when you make something bigger in, like, I don't know, a picture bigger, you don't want to just push top and stretch it upwards because it would stretch it out, and you put it in like that way. He is more stretched out to the top, if anything. So he has really long legs. His legs are long. His body's long. His torso's long. His neck's not that long. But his legs are pretty. His legs are pretty tall. But same with his body. And his arms are long too. But they're normal sized for him. They're normal. Like, if you were tall and lean, basically. If you were really tall and lean. Just if a human was really tall and lean, like, his legs would look tall, his body would be tall, and his arms would be long, His neck's not so long though. But it's still a neck. But anyway, the people there kind of just like sigh in relief, but they kind of also have their guard up because that guy's there, and as the guy's just kind of standing there looking at the thing, it's like, okay, who the hell is this guy? And Bakugo's like, hey, he's like about to say something. He's like, hey, as the man, like, it's almost like if he fucking teleported, right? Like, he's basically standing next to Bakugo, and he has his hand over his mouth. It's no longer claw or covered in or black. It's like a regular human hand now. As he looks toward, they both just like look. He looks Bakugo. The man looks Bakugo in the eyes, and Bakugo is looking at him. As he puts up, he with his other hand, he puts up his finger up to his mouth and just doesn't even shush. He just has it up in silence. So yeah, he's like down to Bakugo's level too. He's like face to face basically. As the man stands tall up again, just stands up, really fucking tall. This guy's fucking huge. He's like 11 foot fucking. He's like 11'4". Holy shit, he's huge. Like, Jesus Christ, he's twice the size of me. I'm like 5'8". If he was that, he'd be like 11 foot. Hold on, did I have something wrong here? Oh no, sorry. He'd be 11'2". He'd be 11'2". Sorry, because if he was twice the size of me, he'd be 11'4". He's 11'2", but still fucking huge. Well, that counts. It's just how tall Bakugo is, and I'm just kind of saying he's 5'7". I don't really actually know, but but still, we'll just keep him at 11'2" because I don't want to make him taller, and I feel like it's pretty. I feel like it's good. It just remember whenever you just try to like get a picture of him, just put Bakugo beside him and just double the size. Just put another Bakugo on top, and bam, that's how tall he is. Put a Bakugo standing up, and put another one just right on top of that, and then bam, you got him. Anyway. Moving on. The man walks towards the giant dormers thing and kind of just climbs on top of it and goes to where like the chest is, and he puts up his hand, his face covered in the black stuff, and then his fingers turns into claws as he fucking lunges his hand into the heart of the thing, and the thing starts like fucking freaking out in pain basically. As he tears it out, but like it's like trying to fucking survive. Like it's trying to get him off of him. Like it's not trying to grab him. It's more like the all the vines and all that shit that's on like its chest are grabbing him, trying to get him off, but it can't. It's like its arms and legs flail about as the man tears out the heart, and it's a big heart. It's huge. It's like bigger than his hand, and it's still beating, and the thing like falls limp. As like what would happen is it seemed to like immediately start rotting. As like it start decaying, and it would eventually just become basically just gone. Well, not gone. It wouldn't like disappear. It's still there. It's just like it's kind of like dead roots. You guys know what like dead roots are, right? How roots look like when they're dead, like a plant's roots when they're dead. It's kind of like that. They kind of just become that, or that's what it. As he's holding this like blue fucking heart. As he just drops to the floor. As he doesn't even he doesn't even look back at the people. As he turns to the forest and just starts running. And he runs to the forest, and like people are like, "What the fuck? What the fuck is they like?" But it's like too late. He's already gone into the darkness of the forest. And they're like that. Well, that was something. But anyway. Let's follow that man. We follow the man to like he's just running. He's just running through the forest. You hear his bare feet hit the floor, changing from dirt to grass to like some stone to some little like stones and all that shit. All different kind of things. And he runs past a river. He runs past like a little river, and like when I say run past, I mean he just leaps over it. It's not that big of a river. He just kind of leaps over and continues running. As in a short amount of time, he ends up to what seems to be a very disturbing campsite. There's just bones, and like bones that are not clean. They're like not fully white. They still have blood stains on them. There's different kinds of skulls, not human skulls, more like animal skulls. All of it's animal stuff, but it's not exactly something you just want to see while in the woods. There's some of them are hanging from trees and shit like that, and just hanging from like all that. Some are on the ground, and then at the center there's just a little campfire. There's a little campfire. It's not lit or anything. There's just stones around it and wood in the middle. There's just like a tree right next to it, not too far away from it, and there's plenty of different kind of like pelts of animal pelts coming from deer to wolf, or stuff like that. And then at the very end of that campsite, there's this big fucking like stone tab or something like that. I don't know what to really say. It's just this big fucking stone like pillar basically, and it's filled with different like symbols and like more like kind of like drawings of like things, and some of these and underneath these drawings are symbols, which are really just language. It's just the writing, but it's not Japanese. It's not English. It's not. It's like not humanly understandable. It's like a forgotten language, and like there's different in those drawings and pin like different or like showing different things, and one of them is at the very top of it. The very top of it is this being with a it's a being that seems to be wearing some sort of like cloak and has a deer mask, and the thing about it is that it's a red thing. It's like all his drawings are from blood, but but there's an X over it that's drawn with like the blood's different. You can tell it's a different kind of blood, and it's like because it's more red. It's like, well, not red. It's a brighter red than it. It's just an X, and there's just an X over it. As the man goes over to like where the kind of where the fire is and sits down by a tree and just looks at it, and as he looks towards the stone tab, as he takes a glance at where the X, the fucking being as I just described with the X over it. And he looks back, and then he looks back at like where the fire is, or well, the fire site, because it's not on fire. There's no fire there, and he's like, so that's what a human is. Or well, no, he wouldn't say that. He says, well, he's like, hmm. Humans, ever, ever so weak. No, just kidding. I forgot what I had planned for him to say. Hold on, give me a second. Let me just think. Sorry about that. Anyway, as he's like, when was the last time I've seen a human? As he looks down at his hands, and he's like, since that day. How long ago was it again? As he cuts back to a flashback, and it's like him when he was a kid. Now, I think I should end it there, because we'll get into the flashback after this. So anyway, I hope you guys did enjoy this part, and I hope you guys will enjoy this series, because it's gonna be kind of fun and kind of different from other series for what I know of. So yeah. Anyway, sorry. Anyway, goodbye.